Can you hear me?
Morning. Yes, I can hear you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being so kind for me, and that you wait for me. I had to change my body image.
Okay, no problem. How are you doing on Tuesday morning?
Very nice. I woke up very early, but I tried to do something, and so I was reading the first chapter once again.
Oh my
Just for
goodness.
you.
Yes, it's like I printed mine.
Oh my
It's like a
goodness.
lecture connected to
Yeah.
C-PTSD.
Yes. And I realized, so this morning I realized that that's the reason I wasn't prepared enough when I should be, because I realized that this book, but not only this book, so not only complex PTSD from surviving to thriving, but the first one of this man, so the Tao of Fully Feeling. So these two books
Yes,
have
the
to
one
be
that you said that.
translated into Polish.
Yes.
So it's highly important because I know that's only maybe my point of view, but my point of view is the inner point of view. So the point of view of the survivor of PTSD, of complex PTSD. And, I know so many people and they are suffering from CPTSD, and it will help them. I'm absolutely sure. So these two books are like, I don't know, recovery.
We call it the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
You know what is the Holy Grail?
Yeah. Please
Yes,
tell me
it's like
in
a
Polish.
cup that you drink from in church, the
I
Holy
understand.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, something like that. And not only because they may be jak to się mówi, że są zdiagnozowani źle, misunderstood so they
Wrongly diagnosed. Yeah, but it was also mentioned in it's mentioned in the book.
Yes, because and my therapist said me so that
told me
that in fact, for example, ADHD is very often a kind of is inside the CPTSD, because when you have ADHD, in fact, are very, I can say, open for evaporating CPTSD, because your mind works in
vaporing. Yes.
because your brain works in a bit different way, and you are very, I can say, sensitive. And there is a nice word in those two books. It's hypervigilance.
Yes.
It's a great word. I know it's awful. So the point is awful. So the issue hypervigilance is something which I'm now aware of, that it's a kind of my, it is a plethora of fear, disgust, violence, and one more word.
Yes.
I try to remember this word, but I don't know, it's hard word for me, even if it's not, even if it's content.
Content.
Content, yeah. So pogarda, tak? Pogarda.
Yes, contempt.
Yeah. And the point is that now I'm aware of the fact that I used to be a hypervigilant person. So it's so your sympathetic nervous system, as he told here, is locked on.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Not go into the relaxation function of the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes.
I imagined it like boiling water. So, for example, you have a kettle, and the water into the kettle is still boiling. And when you have the flashback, in fact, the heat is
going up.
Usual, yes, going up. And
going up or going down?
Going up. When you have the flashback, yeah, the heating, tak, grzanie, jak to powiedzieć,
the heating,
heating is growing up.
Increasing, exactly.
Yes, it's increasing, but in fact, you are in the state for the whole life. So from the very early childhood, your body and your mind is still in this own sympathetic nervous system. So you are still hyper vigilant, and you
like alert all the time, right? Like alert, like
alert.
alert.
Yes, alert,
emergency mode.
And that's the reason he wrote about it, but not in this very first chapter. That's the reason of many autoimmunologic diseases, because
stress is an important factor.
Because in fact, if your sympathetic nervous system is locked on, you have a kind of permanent stress, because you are still watching and checking, is everything all right? Maybe I said something and I sound wrong, so you will be nervous or you will be disappointed, etc., etc. So the whole our whole community, for us, for example, for me, is a kind of, I don't know, I feel that like I am during an exam for my whole life. That I'm passing my exam each day. I'm passing my exam when I'm in social situation with other people. So if I have to communicate with people, if I have to write email, if I have to make a decision which will influence on the other person, I am passing exam. If I do not make a mistake, everything will be okay, and this very person will like me or will think that I'm okay, I'm a nice person, I'm good, I'm worthy for example, future friendship. But if I fail my exam, so if I make a mistake, everything will be done. So will be over, will be ended, will be, I don't know,
doomed.
Yeah, and it's doomed, and it's so awful, because you are.
I mean, that's bad, because like you're putting pressure on yourself where you shouldn't be putting that pressure on yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, and you cannot honest other people. So you cannot be honest. So I cannot be honest, because the fear that I will be bad understood. So, for example, I will tell you something and you will understood me in a bad way. For example, I want to tell you that I like your hair, for example, your hair, but I will did about, for example, maybe you are a hair freak person. So you are so, alert. So in your head, there will be a kind of, she, for example, doesn't like my hair for sure. And you will react in a strange way for me or from my point of view, and I will be so scared that I hurt you, that I did something wrong, you will never like me, we will never be friends, that I will close my door, close my email, close my email box, I will not answer your emails, because I will be so frightened, so scared about finishing our relationship. And it's something, it sucks, it's so bad, and it hurts so much that
because you want to withdraw, like you are frightened very quickly, very easily, right? And you withdraw from maintaining the contact or keeping the relation, or relationship in this case.
You want to keep contact, and you want to have friends. You want to have good friendship, and you want to be with people. You want to spend time with people, but you are so afraid of your mistakes, so your future mistakes, that usually you decide not to do it, just stay at home, not to do it, not go there, because for sure you will say something bad, you will say something silly, stupid, and they will think you are worthless, and it's spending time with this person is just wasting your time. But as he said, it's learned, so it can be unlearned.
Yes. Hallelujah.
It's great thing that in the whole of garbage, I can say, instead of saying shit. There is a hope, and this hope is in English, how to express it in English, że jest uprawomocniona.
It's justified.
Justified on many examples, not only the example of Pete Walker and his recovers and his survivors, but for example, on my example, I'm still in the long, I think not only long-term process, but long life process of recovering. But I feel like, after almost 6 years of therapy and really hard work.
Because that's the most crucial step that you have to take, right? You have to be ready, number one, to go on the journey and sacrifice yourself and work on yourself, right?
Yes, and you have to be prepared for crafting. So not for designing.
Big time, but it's big time crafting. It's like...
Yes, not for designing, not for thinking about, not for being only the artist in your head, but you have to take your hands and craft with them. Of course, metaphorically saying.
Speaking,
speaking, but it's crafting. So you have to do. You have to make a huge effort, and you have to, from time to time, and it's not a rare situation. I can say it's very often.
Frequent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's a better word. So frequent situation that you have to feel your sweat, and it hurts because, as you know, the sweat is salty, so it hurts.
Don't know. Let me taste.
So it hurts, especially when you have C-PTSD and you are very C-PTSD connected with or mixed with ADHD, which means that you are hypersensitive person, and that your skin is hypersensitive thing. So I can feel, I can taste, I can even taste salt, even if I do not eat it. Salt for me is something, so I hate salty things, and it's not possible for me to eat something which is too salty for me, because I feel it like I'm, I don't know, cutting myself, you know.
Oh,
salt,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, I cannot take salty things in my head, or I don't know, jak się mówi, kiszona kapusta, taka kiszona z solą. Sauerkraut. Yes. If I have to, for example, make bigos or gołąbki, but with the sauerkraut, I have to use
gloves.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I feel so huge level of pain, amount of pain in my hands, and then my skin is like rubber. No, not rubber.
Very rough.
Jak taka tarka.
It's very rough. Yeah.
Rough. Yeah.
Because we have smooth, like smooth. Smooth. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have very smooth hair and brains, and our minds.
Brains, yes. No, our brains are very rigid and not rigid. Excuse me, rough. No, rough not.
Our brains are the best ever, Moya. The point is,
of course they are, but we could say that they are. They're the shape. It's not rigid. It's not smooth,
like waves. Like waves.
Exactly, it's very wavy.
Waves. Yeah.
That would be a good explanation for it. Yes.
Super. So, but going to the point, it's learned set of responses. So if it's learned, it can be unlearned, and vice versa. So
vice versa, yes.
Vice versa. So it's a great it's a great data. It's a great information for all people who suffer from C-PTSD, or maybe they think about it that they maybe are suffering from C-PTSD.
Yeah, they are victims of it, yeah.
Victims, yeah. And I think that if these two books are translated into Polish, it will be a huge thing. It will be a huge help and a huge step ahead for all of these people. And as you know, and I'm sure as you are aware of the fact, we have an epidemic of poor parenting in Poland. Of course, not only in Poland,
yeah, but this is the country that we live in, so we feel responsible for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that these two books are. It doesn't mean that we do not have great psychological books about toxic parenting, about toxic families, etc. But these two books are like, for a person, for people with C-PTSD, they are like, I don't know, a life guide.
Yes,
Yeah,
self-help.
self-help, yes, of course. But I do not remember if he did it in the first chapter, or maybe then in the next chapter. But no, in the first chapter when he's speaking about reparenting by committee, that
Okay.
recovery from C-PTSD typically has important self-help and relational components. The relation piece can be from authors, so from, for example, therapists who wrote books like these two, partners, teachers, therapists, therapeutic groups, or any combination of their. But as he mentioned, this is the second page, but as he mentioned,
Yes.
and I strongly do agree with him, he said, I must emphasize, however, that some survivors of C-PTSD and endangered families were so thoroughly betrayed by their parents that it may be a long time, if ever, before they can trust another human being enough to engage in relational healing work. And it's really true. It's true.
Yes, yes, I remember
true.
Yeah.
Because, for example, my childhood wasn't so I don't know, abusive and so bad. Now,
but it's like, how can we say so? Like, what should we say? So we should be happy that, I don't know, my mom didn't beat me. Yeah, because it's like, it's a bit ironic, right? It's like, it can always be worse or it can always be better.
Of course.
But as victims, we have this tendency to justify someone's abusive behavior. Okay, it wasn't so bad. My husband didn't break my neck. He didn't break my leg. It wasn't so bad.
Absolutely. And in this book, so that's the reason I said that these two books should be translated, because
don't wait until you read the third one, Asha.
Okay, because
you still haven't read it.
You will find absolutely, maybe not the different things, but different approach to the same thing, even if the author is the same. And this book, so it was his first book, but this book is so profoundly. It's
profound is good.
Yes, profound. I look at you and tell profound. Yeah, so it's so profound, it's so deep, it's so
enlightening,
yeah,
a revelation, as you said, right?
But it doesn't mean that this one, but this one is I think it's great at the beginning, even if it was written as a, I don't know, middle book. So the third book of three of his book, the second book of three of his books, but it's a kind of compendium of knowledge about C-PTSD, but from his huge, so over 30 years experience, his personal and therapeutic experience therapeutic experience,
therapeutical, yeah.
therapeutical experience. But this book, it's so when you I think that at the beginning is super when you can read this book. So this a kind of a kind of emotional encyclopedia,
sure.
yeah, of C-PTSD. And then when you open this book, you feel so huge amount of relief.
Really?
You feel so safe.
Wow.
I cannot explain it, and I think even that it's not possible maybe in Polish for me, but this
grasp
book,
it with words, yeah, somehow.
yeah, crafted with but going to the point, in this first book he wrote about your question, that he said that it's and he repeated it for many times, that our pain is the huge pain ever for us, and we mustn't deprive it
of
private, yeah, and we mustn't think about that. Oh, it was not so worse, it was not so bad, because for example my neighbor's husband, he broke her leg, I don't know, for 3 times, and my did it only once. So
yeah, cool.
No,
how nice. Thank you, my dear husband, that you broke my leg only once, not twice. You are so good.
Exactly, broken leg, but just a little bit broken.
Yeah, just it's bruised and some blood is coming out, but
yeah,
it's not.
in Polish masz złamanie I pęknięcie, so it was just
a fraction.
I heard attraction. It
no,
attraction.
we don't want it to be attractive for anybody. No.
Attraction. But and he and in this book he speaks about something which amazed me.
Yes.
And it's a word. I have this word here.
Are we speaking about chapter 1, or are you talking about the other book?
We are speaking about something else. Don't worry.
Okay, but sure.
But we are still here.
We are. That's the most important thing.
I'm trying to find one word which was which I found very difficult for me. Forgiving. No. Oh. Yes, and this word is extenuating circumstances, extenuating, okoliczności łagodzące, extenuating circumstances. So that we shouldn't, at the first step, during the initial steps of our recovery, or even if we are almost close to the so almost near to the point where we will closing our recovery process, we shouldn't think about extenuating circumstances, but it's very helpful, and it's very takie nie tylko pomocne, but it's very useful when you do it after all of these important steps in your recovery. But I cannot explain it now because I'm not prepared.
Okay.
And we have
I think I can forgive you, yes.
First. But I just wanted to emphasize. I just want to emphasize that you mustn't, that when you are when you are in the proper step in your recovery process, there is a moment when you think about extenuating circumstances of your parents, for example, that your parents were hurt too very much by their parents, but not at the beginning. Absolutely not. It's the end of the process. It's the end of the book. And it's the end of the process, and it's highly important to do it with the therapist. To do it with the therapist, and to be very aware of the fact that you mustn't do it at the beginning, because if
the forgiving part, or
yes, the forgiving part, because if you do it at the beginning, and if you think about your suffering, about your hurts, about your awful life from this point of view, that it wasn't so bad because other people were in
similar
but
circumstances, or no?
much but
Comparable.
more circumstances. It won't help you.
And can you tell me why? Why won't it help you?
Because you will not be able to recognize all of wounds.
Yes.
All of wounds you have to recognize if you want to if you want to feel, or if you want to finish your recovery process.
I understand.
And you will. And he said, I think that I was talking about it with my therapist, but just only for a second, because she always tries to, to catch the line with me, but I'm going
sideways. Yes,
yes, I enjoy bypassing things, enjoy. Even if I have my lecture, when I have my lecture, my students are, they are, I think sometimes they know that it's they do not have to read all of these books, articles, scientific articles I ask them, because I will bypass my subject.
We must be careful not to confess to it publicly,
Oh, they know it. They know it. I love all of them. I love all of them. But if they are not very strict, that I'm afraid of strict students, because I am prepared, but I am bypassing the subject.
Yes.
So it's important not to think about all of this extenuating circumstances, which caused your parents to behave bad.
You mean justify them,
during the early period, or even the middle period of your recovery work, because it will lead you to the blind corner,
dead end street, or
street,
dead end,
dead end. And the point is, at the beginning of your recovery work, when you are if you, for example, if you feel that something's wrong, if you, for example, if you try to help yourself and, for example, read this book, at the beginning you are just starting to be not aware of the fact that you are a normal person, and there's absolutely normal thing, for example, that you feel something which is called here in the I like this term. I'm not sure if it was coined by Peter Walker, so emotional flashback. And PTI, but I think that in this book he said that this very specific term was coined by him, emotional flashback. The point is that emotional flashback may be it's a kind of misleading term, because when you think about flashback, you think about the visual part. So you see something what you seen so 2 years ago, or you see in your brain, you see a kind of I don't know, terrifying circumstances you were going through, for example, 2 years ago, you were suffering 2 years ago. But when you have the emotional flashback, it's something extremely different. And the point is that maybe it's better to coin a different term, because this term is very similar to flashback. Just flashback.
It's a bit misleading. So but then the flashback, I don't know what synonym could be used to refer to flashback.
Because, for example, from my point of view, as the survivor of C-PTSD, it's a kind of, you are Yeah, it is a kind of flashback, but without any flash. So it's not flashing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's tricky.
There
Yeah.
is no flashing. So you have the kettle and the boiling water, and the heating is increasing. That's the point. So you are, as a survivor, as a CPTSD survivor, I'm still. So for the whole day, I am in the, help me, in the sympathetic nervous system on. For the whole day. Of course, according to, and thanks to the whole therapy, I know how to put down, how to decrease it, how to work with it, but it's so painful, it's so, and
The process. Yeah.
I sometimes I feel exhausted just because being still on,
Yeah. The constant
the constant on
state
system.
of, yeah, exactly. The constant state of being alert, right? It's like,
Yeah,
how
the
long can you be
constant,
alert for? Yeah.
absolutely, the constant state of being alert. So, and sometimes I used to think, for example, about it, why I feel so tired. For
Yeah.
example, I was at work and I spent only, for example, 3 hours at work. I have only one lecture and coffee with my friends. And I went back home and I felt so exhausted. Of course, you can say it's a part of depression. Of course, it is. But but it's highly important not to mask the symptoms. You have to find the roots of
Yes.
your depression too. And I'm so thankful to my therapist that she was able, and she still is able, to dig so deep, deep and deep and deep into root, because she always tried to find the roots, try to find the
The
turning,
cause, yeah.
yeah. And in
You said the
fact,
turning point, yeah? Turning
yes,
point.
the turning point, and not only the point, because when it comes to CPTSD, it's not a point. The point
Okay.
is it comes to PTSD.
Okay. That's
But when
complicated. The point is that there's no point. It's like,
there's no point, yeah, and that's because, and you also are so clever. You are
no,
so
I'm not. No, I'm
clever.
not. I'm just playing, going with the flow.
Oh, Monia, that's the reason I wanted to. I asked you about joining this very short passus
Ah, yes.
of Tao. So the dysfunctional family is a war zone.
War zone, yeah.
It's a war
Yes,
zone.
big time. It's a big
Yes,
time
yes,
war zone.
that's big time. And as he said here, so the flashbacks of combat veterans and survivors of dysfunctional families often have similar transcendence and transcendence
And 10 sentence, yes.
and transcendence. But as he said, it's definitely easier to survive
War.
war
It's
and
easier
not
to survive war. Look
easier
how
to survive
ironic that
war.
is.
It's easier to survive war, or maybe not. Maybe not. It's easier to survive war, but it's
Yeah,
easier to
easier.
survive war without PTSD, and even if you have PTSD after war, it's easier to survive. So the recovery process is shorter, it's easier, and it's definitely and maybe that's because it's so obvious, it's very easy to find the turning point. So it's very easy to find the point. For example, I spent 6 months in the war zone. I saw, I don't know, 100 dead people. I had to kill 100 people. I saw, I don't know, many victims, many full of bloody things, etc., etc. But I have it in my I don't know, in my brain, in my memories, even if sometimes combat veterans, they forget about everything. So it's like a, blind piece of paper. But when it comes to CPTSD, first of all, you are diagnosed as many different diseases,
disorders.
disorders. That's the first thing, because you try to help yourself, for example, and you know that you have depression, that you have, and there you have in the first chapter the whole the list. So except of course emotional flashbacks and toxic shame, there you have in fact a list of disorders. As you can see on the page number 7.
Emotional, I have it.
Yes.
Toxic shame, self-abandonment.
In fact, there you have a list of disorders which are your diagnosis. So you have depression, you have attachment disorder, you have development disorder, you have relationship disorder, and many other disorders and problems and difficulties, arrests. So this developmental arrest is something so so painful and so awful. We will talk about it during our future classes.
Yes.
Social anxiety, self-abandonment, toxic shame, tyrannic inner and outer critic. So there you have a list of disorder, in fact a huge plethora of disorders. And in fact, the whole, I can say,
array.
Kettle, there you have boiling kettle of disorders.
We should draw a picture to visualize it, like bull, boil. It's boiling.
And that's the CPTSD. It's complex. As Phoebe, even if she's not Phoebe, but Heidi.
Let's call her Phoebe. This is our lesson, we can call it what we want.
It's complex. It's so complex. It's so complex that
it's frightening. It's overwhelming just talking about it, isn't it?
It could be overwhelming if you do not talk about it with a person who is who is in the recovering process, or who finished her or his recovery process.
Yeah.
Because now, from my point of view, if for example, now I'm in a conversation with a person who is suffering from CPTSD, and if he or she feels overwhelming by all of this, I could say just
don't worry.
It looks like it's complex. Yes, it is complex. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's the fact. You cannot hide that, right?
Yeah. That's the fact. And of course you can say, I cannot hear all of these facts, and I will buy earplugs, and I don't want to hear about it. I will dissociate, because dissociating is a part of this disease. So I cannot hear it. I don't want to hear it. Please don't tell me. I am okay with myself. And I was, I had a few conversations with my friends, with few of my friends, and I'm absolutely sure they are CPTSD survivors. I mean, they suffer from suffers. Yeah.
Suffer. No, because they suffer.
They suffer. Yes, they suffer from CPTSD. And when I was talking to them, I was not aware of the fact that there is something like CPTSD, but we're just talking about my therapy, about my problems, etc. And the one, second, third person said, she, that I have the same problem, I feel the same, etc. But when I told her, for example, I think that it's a good thing to ask for help. If you cannot, for example, if you do not feel good enough, and if you do not feel safe with a therapist at this very moment, you can just check in the internet, so supportive groups, etc. Maybe books, maybe you can start it. No, please do not say that. Please do not say that. I'm okay. Please do not say that. And
That's not the best strategy, because that's not going to get you very far, is it?
Never. So it is, but that's the dissociating response.
Aspect.
Yes, aspect and response. So his or her body, mind and body responses on this very specific way. So I cannot hear it. I don't want to hear it. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Is dissociation, because
it's like repressing, right?
Repressing, yes. But the point is the repressing response
reaction
and react very often refers to content and disgust. So
yes,
you feel,
because go.
No, because
go. Yes.
or your caregivers or important people for you. That's a nice term in English. To są ludzie znaczący. I will find it. There's something like in Polish osoby znaczące. Typy znaczące. In English there is some. Okay, I will find it. I have just read it in, I think, this book, but doesn't matter. So you were when you were a child, and when the whole process of mirroring was very active. But even now, if we are in the I can say middle point of our adulthood.
Yes, of course, we're going to live until 100.
Yes.
Of course.
We
are in our middle ages. Yes, of course.
Yes,
but we are not going to have a midlife crisis. No.
Absolutely
we are not going to have a midlife crisis. No.
Absolutely no. But this mirroring, process. Yes. And when your father, mother, your caregiver, your teacher, sister, so your siblings, etc., if they look at you with disgust, and the very specific, and he wrote about it here, very specific way of looking and doing something with your face when you feel disgust, and when you look at the kid and say, you are such a disgusting person, I feel nothing than contempt when I am looking at you. And the tone, so the voice, your face, and your words. So in fact, you have three different types of neglecting and abusing your kid.
Yes.
By your voice, by your face, and your look. And then if it's a repeatable process, repetitive process, and especially when you have this ADHD problem, even if you are not the exact ADHD person, like I said, type, but but you have something from ADHD disorder, you are mirroring your behavior into your father's, mother's, teacher's look and face and voice, and you are starting thinking about you that you are disgusting, that you are just that you are worthless, that you are loveless, nie warty miłości, unlovable. Thank you. Unlovable.
Yes.
I love all of these words with less unlovable person. And so that's the mechanism. That's the structure of creating, of forming, of building the concept of self-disgust. Self-disgust, and one more word here. It's self-disgust, self-hate, self-disgust, self-hate, and one more, self-disdain. Self-disdain. Self-disdain is something awful, absolute. But the point is, so that the main difference between PTSD and C-PTSD is that there is no a point here. There are a set of points. There are a set of repetitive behaviors conducted by your important people. So father, mother,
crucial caregiver.
Crucial caregiver. And the repetitive pattern is day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, it's evaporating.
Yes, we are absorbing it. Yes.
Absorbing it, and we are forming a kind of, and we are forming this very specific toxic shame, toxic voice in our head, inner parental critic. So we still, for example, I have to be very aware of each second in my life, because I'm still hearing somebody's voice. That's not a good thing for you. You shouldn't do it. Oh, it's so awful. It's so awful. Please don't say that. I'm still hearing this very specific voice. But of course, thanks to my therapy and the whole mindfulness
approach.
I know how to stop it. I know how to decrease it. I know how to day by day, month by month, how to
reverse it. Reverse
it. But sometimes, especially when you have a very strong emotional flashback, and you are not aware. So when it's a kind of a new flashback, and I haven't recovered it yet, so I haven't
uncovered, probably uncovered and unpacked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I haven't uncovered it yet. Then I can have, for example, 7 days, 9 days, 10 days, 1 month. Now it's not, because I have my therapist. So when I go, I'm in still contact with her, and when I feel very bad, then I'm just calling, maybe not calling her, but writing her and texting her. And after day 2, 3, I'm able to recapture that was a flashback.
Oh, okay. You're probably to realize. It's like possible for you to realize. Capture, sure, you can capture it, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was just a flashback. So if it's a new one, sometimes it's very hard for me, and then I am dissociating, and I'm not aware of and I behave like a machine. And it's very tricky. It's very tricky, especially when you live alone. When you, for example, when you are alone in your flat, you have no kids, you have no, I don't know, even parents, partner. You do not have to work. You have no flatmates,
co-mates, housemates, flatmates.
You are alone. It's very tricky. And as he said here on the page number, what's the number of the page?
Yes, tell me.
7 and 8. He's writing about suicidal ideation.
Yeah, that's so bad.
And
oh my
I
God.
have to admit that this passive suicidality, yes, it's so common. It's so frequent that when I read it for the first time, I said,
you were shocked. Oh my gosh.
I love you. Pete, I love you. Pete,
you are just amazing.
You are just, yes, I love you from this, good point of view.
Of course, being able to conceptualize. No, we do not.
Yes.
What are you saying? No, we do not. We still have 10 minutes because we started later.
No, but it was my fault. No. It was my fault. You have all your rights for your free time, Monia. What do you think about my hair?
It looks great.
I thought you would say crazy.
Why do you say crazy? But you have some waves. Did you do something to it?
No, but I have changed something. I changed something.
Now you are. It's like.
Yes. So I decided to put, jak się mówi taki rowek tutaj, co się robi, jak się przekręca włosy.
Like you split the hair. You make a hair split.
So I decided not to split the hair from this side like this, but in the middle.
Yes, now I see it. Yes.
I was inspired by Rachel Green from Friends.
Oh, really?
Yes, I love her. I love her. But
Rachel Green from France. Am I
friends,
missing something?
friends,
I'm from
friends,
France.
friends,
I
Monia,
thought from
friends.
France. I'm like,
I'm not so
whoa, what is the connection with
sophisticated. I'm going
France?
to friends, blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, yo, Monia, I will find
What?
this episode when
Please do.
Joey tries to learn to teach to yes to learn French. Yo, my goodness.
Really? So
Phoebe, for
crazy.
example, says something like that. Je m'appelle Phoebe. Je m'appelle Phoebe. And Joey, Joey's response, blue, 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 blue. Je m'appelle Phoebe. Blue, 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 blue. Je m'appelle Phoebe. Oh, so great episode. I will send this part to you.
Please,
I love
yes,
Friends.
yes, please do
And
because it's good.
yesterday I
Yes,
wrote, not I wrote, I read in Politica, but just
yes,
the beginning of the article because I have
yes,
no access to this newspaper. And there was
yes.
a kind of article, the new generation needs friends.
Ah, yes, of course
New
they do.
generation needs friends. We need
Hello, come
friends.
on.
Yeah, we had friends. So we have our friends. We have our friends. But the new generation doesn't have any
No, they have 1,000 followers on Facebook. Those are their
yes,
friends.
but not
Yeah.
friends. And
Mm-mm.
one more thing I realized this morning when I
This
was
morning. Oh my goodness. Yes.
lating to your class.
Oopsie. What
I
was that
realized
realization?
that flashback has the same acronym as Facebook.
Okay.
And I found
FB, right.
FB, and of course FBI, etc. But
FBI.
Facebook,
Oopsie.
FBI,
You have some secret connections with FBI?
yeah. So a flashback and Facebook. So the same acronym, and I found it meaningful.
Yes. But to
Meaningful.
what extent?
I have no idea yet, but I will
Okay, you
think
will tell
about
me
it.
about this theory.
I will think
Okay.
about it. But the
Good.
point is, emotional flashback has E E
Yes.
um,
FB.
yeah, EFB. That's flashback, Facebook. We will think about it, Monia, next
Of
time.
course. Yes,
We will
we can
think
invent
about
a theory. That's not a problem.
we will, yeah, and we will create a kind of theory. Monia, please think about the possibility of gaining and of yes, of gaining
But
funds
we are.
for
Mhm.
translation of these
Oh,
books. Yes, we have
I
to
have
find.
to contact Amazon, first.
Yes, we will contact Amazon, and maybe we will do something with according to your new idea, but we cannot tell it. We cannot say it online. No, it's a
It's still a secret.
secret. Yes. So if someone is watching us and if someone is listening us, you will never. No, you will know
Not
one day.
never, yeah, yeah. But one day you have to be
But
patient.
one day you have to be patient, even
Yes.
if I'm not. Even if I'm not.
We're working on it. That's the most important thing. We're working on it.
Yes, yes. Monia, we have to finish our class and
Okay,
it's so
okay. I'll let you go. Yes, I'll let you go. Yeah.
yeah. One more question, Monia.
Yes.
Short coffee this Sunday or Saturday in a coffee shop next to your flat, for example, in the Galeria Dębiec. For example,
I
just
think city center is better.
okay.
Stary
Just
Browar.
okay, of course, with Sophia, just for 15 minutes about our
No problem.
mm, our our strategy for Wednesday.
Top secret mission.
Yes, our top
Of
secret mission.
course.
What do you think? If you have time and if you
Yes,
want,
I
short
want
copy.
to.
I teraz powiedz mi po angielsku, ja stawiam.
It's
That's my
on me.
job.
It's
It's
on
on
me.
me. It's on me. It's on
Oh,
me. It's on
okay.
me.
Okay.
Because I'm
Yeah.
older.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have longer hair. I have the split here, as you
Aha,
can
in the
see.
middle. Yes.
But your title is longer. Minecraft, your life is shorter.
Well,
And
that's like 4 against 1, so I think you win
oh,
anyway.
okay, it's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is
Great.
to Sophia. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Have a great day. Bye.
And
Yes.
next time we have the second chapter.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'm still waiting for my book, you know. It's
Okay,
on its
levels
way.
for
It's on its way.
I will send you the scan.
But you would say that we're done with chapter 1 or already?
We've just done the chapter 1. Now we will do chapter 2, the second chapter. But we are.
Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel fulfilled that you have mentioned everything in chapter 1? I mean, it was pretty complex as well.
Please do not do it, because if I should be fulfilled, it will it will be I will do it forever. I will do it life. It will be lifelong story.
Okay,
you know,
well, that's not
with
a
chapter
problem.
1. With chapter 1. So my proposal is chapter 2.
Okay.
And if we need a need.
If we have a need or feel the need
to chapter 1, we will do it. We will just do it. We will just do it, because we have to go through this book, and much more books, Monia.
Yeah, we have a long list of books.
This first chapter, and information which are in the first chapter, we will find them in the next chapters.
Okay, so it's repetitive.
Absolutely.
That's the process of overriding old habits and behaviors.
Absolutely. And that's how the recovery process of C-PTSD looks like.
Exactly. That's what it looks like.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.